Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial of how to get started with Village. I'm Evelyn Mora, I'm the CEO of Village, and today I'm going to show you in this amazing environment how to build your own world in minutes. So the first thing you do is obviously sign up or create your account on vlge.com, which is pronounced Village. And you will land in this type of environment where you have the opportunity to select your template. So these are all ready-made templates, but you can always import your own worlds from different game engines directly to Village. So let's go ahead and select our template. So you have over 50 different templates ready to go. And as you can see, you don't have to download anything and everything is essentially ready to go on the browser. So let's see which world we want to build today. Okay, I'm gonna go with New York. So just quickly on the left side, you can see all your experiences here. So these are all my experiences that I have been building. So they are here in edit mode, in export mode, multi-edit, or essentially you can enter the worlds over here. And then you have your assets. So any 3D assets that you import, OBJ, FBX, GLB files, MP3s, animations, and everything will be hosted here in your backend. You have the Discover page where you can discover all the other worlds that people are building. You have the Marketplace, which is launching very soon for creators. So ultimately, when you purchase an asset, you have it in your disposal immediately with full utility in your builder, which we're going to see in a second. You have your profile, plans and billing, very important, and your workspace settings where you can invite other members to join your workspace. So let's go back to home here and go ahead and select the New York template. So over here, we're gonna give it a name. Let's say Evelyn in New York. And then you can describe your world the way you want. So I'm just gonna say New York is more fun than Paris. Okay. And here you can switch to multi-edit mode, so ultimately you can just tap in the emails of the people that you want to invite to co-create with you in real time. But since I'm here, me, myself, and I, with my multiple personalities, it's just going to be me, so I'm going to skip that. And here then you can select the platform that you want to launch it to. So Village is primarily on browsers, so you don't need any downloads, anything like that. But and once you have launched the world on browser, it will be immediately accessible from Village app, which gives you access to Apple Vision Pro and Oculus. However, if you want to build directly for Roblox or Unreal Engine, you can select the world here, depending on the subscription tier that you're in. So I'm just going to select Village and continue to building the world. This is the part where the elevator music plays. Okay, so now the world is loading and boom, we're in. So this is all happening in real time. And so the first thing you want to learn is 2 fingers on your trackpad, press down and drag to be able to move the camera. This is literally the hardest thing you need to learn on Village. Otherwise, it's literally drag and drop, no code, so you don't need any coding skills. Unless you're a studio and you want an access to our SDK to do your custom games from scratch, that's obviously possible. So just email us at hello@vlge.com. So let's begin. On the top left corner, you can see here that you can change the name of the world or you can generate models. So ultimately what I can do is I can either export images and turn them to 3D, or I can have text prompts that essentially generate assets in the world. You can also go live over here, which means that the world is instantly playable on browser, or you can export it and then import it to Roblox Studio or Unreal for Fortnite, which by the way is cool because all the functionalities and game logics will be exported to in minutes, right? So this is really important. And then here on the left side, you can see this is your toolkit. And on the toolkit, you have all the kinds of assets here, from building kits, interior decorations, retail, plants, landscape, fashion, particle effects. And here, my assets, you will have all the custom assets that you've downloaded hosted. You also have custom assets here, so once you click there, you can import any type of 3D assets that you've generated directly to Village. Other than that, we have Functional assets, this is important. So for instance, when you build a game and you want functional assets, like for instance, you want the player to be able to open the door, or you want to add portals into different places, you go to the functional assets and you'll be able to create a very interactive game. So here are all your assets. This is essentially a village library. So all these assets here are for free, but if you purchase from Marketplace, then all the assets will be available here at My Assets section. Okay, cool. So let's proceed to the basic stuff. So you have add an image, very simple. You click on it and then it opens this little transparent space for you. So what you do is by pressing G, you will be able to then move your mouse and essentially replace the image to the section you want to add it. By pressing G, you will be able to grab the asset, and then by pressing C, you will be able to literally just copy paste it. And now, for example, you can see that my asset is no longer selectable. So what do? Is I go to here to the right corner over there to my hierarchy. And then here I can either delete the image or grab it. So if I press the eye icon and press G, I will be able to grab it again. But just let's go ahead and just delete it. Okay, there we go. Here the play next to the hierarchy system is essentially preview mode. So if you want to go to the preview mode just to see how players would see the world, you can do that as well. And then the little house over there is for your workspace. Okay, and obviously my favorite, undo, redo button. Okay, so let's move ahead here on the hierarchy in the toolbox. So here you have the video. So the same way as the image, you click on the video, you bring it here. By pressing T, you can scale it just like that. And then once you click, it stops there. And then you can go to your assets, choose file, and open your browser over here. And you can select an asset and upload it. So in a few seconds, the asset that we selected from our desktop, as you can see, has been uploaded. It's not playing right now because Village is asking me if I want to AI tag this particular asset. So what does it mean to AI tag your assets? It's connected with Village AI Aria, which is our agent. So essentially what AI Aria does is hyper-personalize your world for you in real time, depending on the player that enters the game. So I'm just going to click maybe later here. So right when I click that, you can see the video playing. Again, I can press T and manipulate the video. G, grab it and move it around. C, it literally copy pastes the same thing. Okay, so let's maybe change the camera view. Let's go further up. Have a different view on the video. Press G, and I put the snapping system. Here we go. If you press G twice, you can activate the gizmo system over here. So you can then, obviously, without asset having to have any asset to essentially lean on, you can move and place the asset the way you want. Okay, so I'm just going to add it over here. So I'm just going to add it like that to show you other type of settings over there. In your right section, what you can see is here the transform section, where you can ultimately then transform the position, rotation, and the scale of the video that you've added, or actually any asset. So now I'm just gonna, you can type any number or you can just drag this part here. There you go. There is a more effective way to do this, but bear with me as your grandma gets the video attached to the wall. All right, so that's good enough. So let's move it. Maybe it's fine over there. Maybe we want to actually size it a little bit. So other than that, let's move forward. This is your little memory aspect that shows how much memory you have left. So we're just gonna shut it down. And then what else you can do? You can add a text, you can add audio, and this is spatial audio. So you can add different amount, like many different type of tracks, and then you can edit the audio blend of these tracks. So ultimately you can have a building, a store, a retail store where you play some sort of music, and then you can have a different type of music in another part of the world. The closer the player goes to the world and the asset, then obviously the louder the music will be. All right, so let's proceed here. My favorite part, add games. So here you have a platform racer, you have a collector game, marathon game, quiz game, soccer game, paintball game, and these are all compatible with one another, so you can mix and create your own game from scratch, or literally just press on the quiz game and then click and clack, drag and drop, and activate your game here. You can also add a custom UI. So many times when you have retailers that want to build their storefronts on Village, they do want to have their own UI. So because we want to enable anyone to essentially come in here and with no code immediately be able to launch their worlds, you can also add your custom UI. So before we go to the world settings, which is another favorite part of mine, why don't we just go here, maybe to the fashion assets, and let's say add a random asset. Maybe we'll just add these shoes over here. Okay, I'm just gonna scale it up. Where is the shoes? I don't see the shoes, so let me just go to the hierarchy over here. There we are, there are the shoes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just like that, by pressing the eye icon, you can find the asset. You can place it in the world. Obviously, this is really important when you have a lot of different assets and active games and such, so it's very simple for you to find the asset. So once the asset is placed, again, the same way, T for scaling the asset, just like that, R for rotation of the asset, G for grabbing, and C for copy pasting the same asset infinitely as many times as you want. Okay, so let's just remove these extra ones. Now I'm just gonna go a bit further back here, select the shoe again, scale it up. On the top right corner, you can see you have the URL space where you can add any URL address essentially. This is usually when it comes to SME brands, they add the checkout page of this particular product. You can also decide if you want to open in the same tab or a new tab. You can also add a custom interaction. You can also add a custom interaction message. You can add the post-processing effects and shadows of the template that you're working on or not. And then you can also add an auto rotation, and then you can also define the speed of the rotation to your liking. You can also obviously rotate in X-axis, Y-axis, or Z-axis. If you want, you can change the material of all the assets or the colors as well. We're going to skip that for now, and then you can also, again, manipulate the positioning of the assets. But now, since we're in Manhattan, what I want to do is I want to lift it up in the sky, just like that, and obviously you can place it the way you want. So let me just change my camera view. Okay, and again, what I can do is I can then, obviously the rotation and the scale, I can also manipulate over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna redirect this shoe to my website. So www.evelynmora.com, and I want it to open in the same tab. And if you go to my personal website, I have my new speaker deck that you can download. This was not sponsored. Okay, great. So that joke's done. So let's go to the world settings here, the last aspect essentially. So what you can do in world settings, you can change the sky map, you can manipulate the colors and the lighting of the world, or you can literally go old school, you know, if you're a millennial or a boomer, you know, these edit styles, you can make it black and white. If you want to select the asset and take away the effect of the post-processing of the world, then you can ultimately have the colors of all the assets kept as original. That's it. So then you just essentially on the left corner, you go live, You can scan this with your phone, which will open Village app, and it will give you access to Oculus, MetaQuest, or Apple Vision Pro, or you can just literally copy this and add it here. I think it opened there. And now what we're doing is we're going to play mode directly. Village is by default multiplayer with audio and text chat, so you can essentially share this link with your friends and start playing, just like that. So ultimately, obviously my avatar is now black and white, as you can see, because I made the world black and white. From the top right corner, you can click on the t-shirt and you can customize your avatar. You can go to first person view just by clicking the eye, and you can mute your microphone over here. Or on the left side, what you can see is taking an image or recording your game. Top right corner over there, you have the chat, and voila. Thank you so much for following, and I hope you enjoy building on Village.